And that's my time, folks. See? Better opening than Matt fucking Rife.
Can't get me out your head, but baby, I'ma leave you on red. Baby, I'ma leave you on red.
Hello and welcome to
Women and Children Deserve to Be Annihilated.
Hello and welcome to
Women are dirt, I tell ya.
Hello and welcome to Here for the Chaos, where the algorithm is giving me a little spanking for not dedicating my entire life and firstborn to them. Sorry, okay, I have been moving, my light broke, I thought my mic broke, and it's just been a lot. I am your host, Lilac. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, listen to my music. We're just gonna get into this because you know what? I have deja vu because I filmed this already, but let me tell you something. I didn't like that episode, and if you want me to be frank, then I am frank. Thank you. Thank you. My comedy is ever evolving. I do deserve awards. You are totally right. I will accept all of them. So not only was the audio bad in the last episode, but I regret to inform you that I had a bat in the cave, if you know what I mean, and I apologize that I even almost subjected y'all to that because it was traumatizing editing it. I also noticed in the editing process that your girl is growing my very own forest in each of my nostrils. It is thriving. It's got its own ecosystem, and they're probably going to turn into tusks. I have ridiculously long nose hair, which is why I asked for nose trimmers for Christmas. Okay, if you're wondering what any of that had to do with today's video, so without further ado, we're going to actually get into this episode. I missed y'all. I'm sorry it took so long. Like I said, moving was crazy and I had the flu. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about the same two from my last episode because Ruby Franke and Matt Rife just, listen, they're trying to finish the year out with a bang. And we're all kind of like, no, I think we're good. But they're really coming in for the finale. So season 23 is crazy. We're going to start with Ruby Franke because she's probably the most pressing news, and that's all. That's all I have to say about it. Anyways, for those of you who don't know who Ruby Franke is, where you been, bud? Because it's been quite the year involving the Franke family. I've done several videos about them. I will link them in the description, but essentially Ruby Franke is part of the 8 Passengers YouTube family. Why does that sound so weird? You 8 Passengers family who had a vlog channel on YouTube where she regularly abused her children for views. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And she joined forces with a disgraced therapist named Jody. What the hell is this last? Hildebrandt. So she joined forces with Jody Hildebrandt to form the school life coaching organization, whatever you want to call it, called Connections, where they basically would tell other parents, if your kid breathes, you're parenting wrong. If your kid laughs, you're parenting wrong. If your kid smiles, you're disgusting. Your kid should be sad and hungry and miserable all the time. And that's the only way you'll know you're doing it right. And even when you do it, then living in distortion, it was insane. She doesn't even talk to her family anymore. I don't even know about Jody's family and what's going on with that. But Ruby Franke ended up getting arrested, boom, behind bars because of the way that she treated her children. Because her children were found in a position that involved torture. Okay, I'll put it to you like that. They were found in bad physical condition, mental, emotional condition, and the two were arrested. During this process, Ruby's family was like, where the hell was her husband? Because she has a husband. And he was like, well, they basically told me that my kids hate me and my family's better without me, so I left. Still don't understand that. I know other men have said that that's how Jody worked. She tried to separate the families, but there is nothing on this earth that would separate me from a child, so I don't get it. Ruby and Jody have been sitting in jail waiting for their trial to proceed, and today we got the first little bit of the trial, actually a big bit. Ruby entered her plea today, and she pled guilty to all 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
Ms. Franke, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony.
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony.
Guilty.
And then in the courtroom, because I watched the hearing with Emily D. Baker. If you ever want to watch a court hearing, watch it with her. I watched the whole Johnny Depp trial with her. She's just peak content, such a smart woman and just great to watch. But Ruby was being asked her pleas for each individual count or charge or whatever. I'm not a lawyer. And she was at the end of her last plea, she was like, well, it is with great sorrow and pain and just so much struggle on my part. I can't even do my hair in here. I'm really going through it, you guys, that I plead guilty to the last charge. And Emily D. Baker was like, girl, now's not a time for a speech. Okay, now's the time to just say, what do you plead? The end.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony.
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty.
Ma'am, now is not the time to make a statement.
Yeah, she didn't look super distraught. She really reminds me of Lori Vallow. It's a little creepy. That's what happened. That's the big update. She pled guilty. So where this goes from here, not sure. She's facing a maximum of 15 years per count, and they are to be served consecutively, meaning one after the other. One thing that was interesting was that her defense basically said that they have not decided the amount of time that should be allotted per charge, which I guess you're supposed to. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but they're leaving that up to the court to basically decide what that's going to look like for her. It'll be interesting when Jody comes out, because you know that their best defense is to get at each other. Ruby's going to say that Jody did everything, and that's what she is saying. And Jody's going to say, well, she was their mother, and not wrong. Hopefully the children don't have to be too involved in this. It's very traumatizing for them already, let alone having to recount all of these horrible things in front of a courtroom full of people. She also said in a statement from her lawyers that she has reformed her moral compass. I don't know about you, but what the hell does that mean? Okay, what the hell does that mean? It's not like you took a candy bar. It's not like you jaywalked. You full on abused your children and you were like, well, actually, I think jail really sucks, you guys. It really sucks for me. You would not believe it. I thought I was going to go to like one of those fancy white collar crime jails because I'm a famous YouTuber. I have millions. Okay, check my page. Actually, you can't. Got taken down. But now I'm in this gross jail with the rest of the people. And I must say, ew. And if I may follow it, disgusting. So I'm so sorry. You guys, I am so, see my eyelash got stuck because it already knew the bullshit that was about to come out of my mouth. I'm so sorry that I got caught. It really sucks for me. You guys are living in distortion. You just don't know. So that's about that on that. Let me know your thoughts on Ruby Franke and this whole thing. I'm curious to see where the kids are going to go because Kevin don't deserve him either. And it's just crazy. One last thing in her statement, she also said that she hopes to repair the trust to get back with her husband. Ma'am, everybody knows that you and Jody were eating box, okay? I'm tired of saying it. I'm tired of saying it. Y'all were definitely going to town, munching on some beaver, and that's fine, but you abused your kids in the process, and your husband is not blameless, but he definitely should have nothing to do with you. Y'all should have nothing to do with each other. I'll look forward to when the book comes out and the Netflix special. Speaking of Netflix special, let's get to our next topic. Matt Rife, more like Matt Triflin. Thank you. I will be here all week. I do deserve all the awards. I couldn't think of a better person to give them to. We are talking about Crimson Chin, once again, Matt Rife. Because the man just cannot stop. He sees a hole, he only goes in it if it belongs to one of his boys. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a real quick run through of Matt Rife because I tried to do a little blurb in my last episode and the man just cannot stop. So Matt Rife is a comedian that went viral on TikTok, but he'd been around the block. You know, he's better known for grabbing Zendaya's face, therefore committing a national crime.
Spit that water out so I can get your number, please.
He went viral on TikTok for his crowd work. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me laugh. I know, poor judgment on my part. Ugh, I'm just as disgusted. He had short little clips on TikTok that went viral of his comedy, and people found him conventionally attractive, so he blew up fast. Don't get ahead of yourself, okay? He doesn't like being so handsome. Because imagine being him, and you're cooking up these jokes and you're stirring them up and you're rolling them out and you're putting them in the oven and you're going, thank you. Give me a Netflix special, please. And then you just put so much love into the jokes just for people to only look at your arms. Can you imagine how terrible it must be to have all this grade A comedy just for you to go on stage and have people think, oh shit, I didn't know I had tickets to the gun show. Ooh, Matt Rife is so hot. Or at least that's what he thinks. We know that Matt Rife thinks Matt Rife is fine as hell, okay? He would definitely date himself if it wasn't weird to do so.
I started working out way after I was doing stand-up. I've been doing stand-up for about 12 years now. Yeah, a little over 12 years now. I will say I don't think it helps you by any means. I mean, people don't want to laugh at like physically attractive people. Like you don't want to walk on stage and have people looking at your arms rather than listening to your jokes.
He then landed himself a Netflix special where his first joke was, actually, please allow for a dramatic rendition of his opening joke. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Beat women, beat women, beat women. Right? Okay. And then he followed it up with, you guys, I'm just trying to see how fun you guys are. Sir, beat that woman.
I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who like seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? It was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye. Testing the water, seeing if y'all are gonna be fun or not. Just wanted to see.
And obviously, people didn't find it funny because, number one, Matt Rife has the energy of a guy that's like, because you know how that's how guys do. They giving myself the ick currently. When they go, dang, girl, you fine as hell. I'd like to split a hot pocket with you. And then you go, actually, by the way, this isn't even just a female experience. It can happen to anybody, which is the horrifying part. And then you go, I'm actually just trying to scan these tomatoes and go home. So if you wouldn't mind. And then the guy goes, well, bitch, you ugly anyway. It's like, what? It's like, what? You thought I was ugly? You thought I was ugly? First of all, wrong. But second of all, you thought I was ugly? You still hit on me? Please. That's got to be one of the funniest phenomena to me. When a dude tries to shoot a shot and you turn it down, he goes, you're a piece of belly button lint. And you're like, what?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay. Yeah, right. So are the tomatoes free then? Or so that's number one. But number two, we all know that comedians are supposed to push the boundaries on jokes and say stuff that can make you uncomfortable. However, it has to be smart humor and it has to be, I don't know, funny. And it wasn't. Like everyone just found it to be very lazy and it wasn't funny. And it was a punch down. But let me tell you, the men that are rubbing two brain cells together, trying desperately just to come up with a single thought, we're eating this up on Instagram because Matt Rife's response to all the backlash was to post a link to special ed's helmets for people with special needs. And the boys, who he claims is his ideal audience, by the way, his entire audience basically is female. And after this, he tried to pivot and say, well, I'm actually not here for the girls. I want their boyfriends. I want to fuck the boys. Wait, no, Todd. I didn't mean like that. I I just meant that, damn, those vineyard vines hugging you right, boy. That tush is sitting. I'ma holla at you after the show. Fuck women. The boys were eating this up, and some just pearly things, women were eating it up too. But for the most part, everyone was like, why would you turn against the demographic that put you in the spot to have this Netflix special to begin with? Like, the math is just not mathing, sir. And it's pretty much just been downhill from there. You know, he's made it clear that he wants the boys to be his audience, and he's made it clear that the boys are buying the tickets anyway. Like, sir, first of all, women can buy their own shit. Maybe not the ones you're with, but women do buy their own shit. On top of that, no matter who paid, I guarantee you it was the woman's idea to come to your show. The boys are not going to come through like the women did. So have fun with those drops and ticket sales, boo. You deserve it. You earned it. How about a round of applause? Oh, bro. Send an ovation. 'Cause you put on quite a show, really was quite duty. Now it's time to go. The boys are waiting for me. After that wave, more things started being brought up about him being misogynistic. He went on the Jordan Peterson podcast, which is never a good move. Jordan Peterson is all the is you could be, and I'm not going to go into politics. I don't have the energy, but he's terrible. It was a bad look, and he basically was like, oh, people are so sensitive. People are so sensitive. I can't believe it. I'm just making jokes. I'm just making people laugh. Okay, but the thing was, Matt, bring it in. Come here. Not that close. You look like you have halitosis. You didn't make people laugh. You weren't funny. And you're just as sensitive because now 2 more things have come out. 2, count it with me, women. We got to let them know that we can count. 1, 2, got it. We got him. So number 1, he's beefing with a 6-year-old. You heard me right. This grown-ass man is beefing with a 6-year-old. And it's not the first time he's beefed with a kid because he did the same thing to the yodeling kid. It's just like, sir, how are you this insecure? It's crazy. You clearly paid for your entire face and still insecure as hell, lashing out at everybody. And don't even try to tell me he hasn't had surgery, okay? Even if you didn't have eyes and could not see, even if you could only read Braille, you could run your finger across his jawline, it would break skin, you would start bleeding, and you'd be like, oh, that man has had surgery. Also, according to this TikTok that he brought attention to for no reason. Really L's all around for this man. But back to the 6-year-old. So in that same comedy special, he had a joke that was like, women, listen, ladies that love me so much that I hate, you don't need astrology, okay? Because you don't need the planets to tell you that you suck. You suck so bad. You deserve to be
annihilated.
He was like saying something stupid about Jupiter also doesn't have a ring, just like the women that believe in that, and blah, 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 blah. So this little 6-year-old kid was like, actually, it's Saturn that has rings and you're mean to girls. I'm going to insert it here, but it was harmless. He was just being cute.
Nothing to do with the stars, man. Just because Jupiter has a ring and you don't, doesn't mean.
It's Saturn that has the rings, and it has more also, and you're mean to girls.
And Matthew Rife really decided to respond to this 6-year-old and say some shit like, oh, actually Jupiter does have rings and Santa's not real, and your mom makes all of her money showing her holes on OnlyFans.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Sir, he's 6. He's a child. Why are you so fucking mad? And I want to say that if you're on OnlyFans, more power to you. But this woman doesn't show anything, not even like a bikini picture, like doesn't show any skin at all. So it just shows what he thinks of women, obviously. But her response was a motherfucking banger because she came back with the, just because you can't satisfy your women audience doesn't mean you got to take it out on me. I'm going to insert the full response because it was so funny.
Matt Rife has decided to start beef with my 6-year-old child online. Yeah, you heard me correctly. My 6-year-old child online. So my name is Bunny Hedaya. If you don't know me, Hedaya means gift. And this is my gift to you, reading Matt Rife to filth. Like Matt, I have a full female audience online. Although I like mine. I don't want the men. You can keep them. Please. I will gladly take your audience because we know you can't satisfy them anyways. This all started when his comedy special, which, if that's what we're calling comedy, the things he said that weren't even funny were posted on TikTok, and I started being tagged in them because everyone knows that my son is like a genius and he's really into space. I fiercely protect my child online. I'm not a family channel. People know his name, they know he likes space, they know he likes Minecraft, and that's pretty much it. Most people do not know any personal details about my child. And because of that, and because I have such a large audience, when I see people in person and when people see space clips, they tag me in them because they know that that's what he likes. This is the video that I posted.
Nothing to do with the stars, man. Just because Jupiter has a ring and you don't, doesn't mean.
It's Saturn that has the rings, and it has more also, and you're mean to girls.
I am not the type of content creator that usually talks about other people or other things for views. I focus my content only on me because guess what, Matt? I'm interesting enough on my own. But I also didn't pay for my looks, so that's not really what people follow me for. You look to the video on here, you can see that all the comments were like, oh my god, he's so smart, he's so cute, like, oh my gosh, yeah, girl power. Mind you, he's not tagged in it. I have no connection with him, and it was posted on a Netflix page. While you clearly took a lighthearted video and turned it into fighting with a 6-year-old, let's talk about the comments that you said about me. This is my IG where he left the comment, okay? Do I look like I don't even show my body? For you to assume that every single woman online makes money by showing their bodies, which, like, if that's what you do, girl, do you. Like, love it. I have never made a single dollar from a man. Audience is female, 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 female. And a little bit of the gays and nays. You can't accept the fact that people may like women for their personalities. We know you don't have one. You stick to circle jerking, the men that you need validation from, and I will gladly take your female audience that you so desperately want to get. You know it hurts because I'm richer than you, and I didn't have to pay for a Forbes article to fake it. And I really wish you luck on what's left of your career, but keep my child's name out of your mouth. We can do part 2.
But it's just like, why are you so sensitive, right? That's what you said on the Jordan Peterson podcast. Everybody's being sensitive. They're just jokes. A little kid made a joke and you're being so sensitive. Huh? Imagine that. Get a fucking grip. So now to speed this up, because I gotta go to work, we're gonna move to the last part of the Matthew Rife situations, and that is his beef with Brooke Schofield. So Brooke Schofield is a co-host on the Cancel podcast with Tana Mojo. And listen, I know Tana Mojo and Trisha Paytas are problematic as hell, to put it lightly, especially to people of color. However, their podcast is so damn entertaining. I do catch an episode or two. Okay. So Brooke had talked about a guy previously on their podcast who she referred to as DC guy, because they had talked about running away to DC together. And she came out and said, actually, that guy was Matt Rife. Now, why does this matter? Because one, he made her think that they were exclusive, and he was talking to like 7 other girls. They were in a group chat, honey. They were putting timelines together. There was a cork board. It was going down.
And if you go back and watch the Matt Rife episode, you can just feel my disdain.
There's a difference, definitely a difference between your energy toward him and my energy toward him. Because for context, Mr. DC is Matt Rife. I wouldn't say he was like my ex or anything, because it wasn't like this serious relationship, but like it was more like I wasn't just hooking up with him.
You liked him?
Yeah, I really liked him. I mean, to anyone with like common sense, it's love bombing, but I had at that point lost all my marbles, seriously. So I was obsessed with this guy. Yeah. So we went to the show at the Laugh Factory that night. You saw him. He came, said hi, whatever, and he's like, okay, babe, like I'll see you after the show.
I'm so happy you're doing this.
He tells me like, okay, like I'll see you after the show. I'll be over as soon as I'm done, whatever. I stay up all night. The man never comes. I am on TikTok the other day, and I get tagged in a video of this girl, and it's her and Matt. It's all these photos of her and Matt, like a little slideshow, if you will. I go to the comments, and she had commented back to somebody, and she was like, relax, you guys. This was at the beginning of this year. When? Like, when was it exactly? Because I was seeing him at the beginning of this year. So I DM her. I'm like, hey, like, just wondering, honestly, like, what was the timeline exactly? Just because, like, I'm curious. Because, I mean, his current girlfriend was not long after me either. So I'm like, it had to have been around the same time. Immediately, she puts me into a group chat. You never want to be in a group chat with beautiful, strange women. For a man who doesn't have time, this man had the most time.
But number 2, one of his most ill-received pieces of content, I would say, was when he went on the Stiff Socks podcast and said women with outie vaginas look like God fucked it up, basically, and God kept the tag on it.
The girl with master play, I'm like, yo, that's pretty close.
Yeah, it's like, what am I supposed to fuck you or thumb wrestle? Like, I don't know.
I mean, both, honestly.
I don't love a giant. I don't want to look down and feel like God left a tag on you. I just don't want your pussy to look like the gum from Sausage Party. You know what I mean?
And now let me say this, because I've talked to my boyfriend about it, and he's like, what's the big deal? Women are being hypocritical. Y'all talk about how gross penises are and how small and I just want to say he's right. Okay, we can't be super hypocritical and not acknowledge that we are not also terrible about men's hearts. I think a lot of women just aren't used to hearing this kind of vulgarity with their bodies, but you know what? We got to be fair. It's fucked up on both sides. Stop talking about people's bodies. Brooke put 2 and 2 together and found out that he was talking about her body in that. Mind you, he just left her house to go to this podcast. So imagine that you're seeing someone, you really like them, you were intimate with them, and they go on a podcast and basically talk about how disgusting you are.
Matt Rife went on the Stiff Socks podcast with our baby Trevor Wallace.
And I just want to say, this is when I knew. This is when I knew. But I want my girl to have the floor.
I was still actively seeing him at the time. In fact, we'd gone to dinner the night before. He was telling me all about how he was going on a podcast. I said, oh, I have a podcast. He's like, oh my God, really? Like,
he left your house to go to go to Stiff Socks.
No, I was with him the night before. It doesn't matter. But the point is, I'm like I'm excited to watch it. I'm like, oh, gotta watch my man on a podcast. I don't know if you guys recall. That was like the most. He's since had it wiped from the internet. I wish I could wipe it from my memory.
I'm livid. Like, I actually I have to drink this because I'm livid.
He went on the Stiff Socks podcast. First of all, first offense was Trevor asking what his type was. His answer was blondes with fake tits. Okay? For the audio listeners, I am a brunette with fucking real tits. They're huge, but they're real. I'm like huge, by the way, but they're real. So that was like a little bit like offensive. But
again, when I knew.
But I justified it a little because I'm like, you know what? If someone asked me my type, I'd just say ugly guys. So like, that's not the worst thing in the world to say. But he goes on to say that he is disgusted by outie vaginas, like girls who have outie vaginas, because it looks like God left the tag on them. Now, I'm going to give you guys the canceled exclusive here, but I, Brooke Schofield, have an outie vagina. Okay?
Seen it. It's great.
I have a fucking... And so does fucking 2/3 of America, you fucking weirdos. Imagine me sitting there, my fucking jaw on the floor, my fucking... doing the fucking line dance on the couch. Just like, what the fuck did you do? Like...
I hope you just...
What?
I hope every single listener knows that when that podcast aired, I tried to swing.
You guys thought that was disgusting. The public was like, oh my God, how horrible. Imagine how I felt. He literally just went on a podcast and was like, yeah, I'm fucking repulsed by this bitch. Like,
when you had sex with him, did you ever come?
Okay, don't talk about that.
I know you didn't. Enough said.
Sir, you are not that cute. You look like a claymation. Where's the... Sir, have several thousand seats. After she revealed that and how hurtful that was, obviously, she also revealed a juicy piece of info. That Matt Rife, who just talked about how gross women's bodies are, face-tunes his wiener. You face-tuned your dick? Oh, bruh. Because that's so funny that you're over here talking about, oh, shit, I'm so handsome. People can't even focus. They don't even want to laugh at me, which doesn't make sense. You actually laugh more with / at the jokes of people you find attractive because you want to impress them and make them think, oh my God, I like you so much. You're so funny. Doesn't make sense. You are out here going so hard on people and you face-tune your ding-a-ling-ding-dong. What did you do? I just want to know. Did you make it look like you had a BBL? Did you put a six-pack on it? I'm asking for science. It's strictly for science because I can picture him sitting in the dark and he's got candles all around him and he's having a wonderful night. He even got his butt touched by one of the boys and he is on a high, okay? And then a disgusting woman texts him and has the audacity to take up his time. And he goes, ugh, I guess I am a little horned up. Me and the boys only got to first base, so I'll let this nasty wench get me off. Or whatever. That's my impression of Matt Rife. I picture him, he just got off a long, hard day of comedy and he sits down and he goes, I just took this fantastic picture of my ding-a-ling ding-dong and it is trying its best, but we can make this better. And then he puts on some classical music. He's painting, okay? He's shading. He's adding layers in. He's putting a background. He ordered a little beret for the mushroom cap, but it didn't get here in time, so he's making it work. He's doing this. You know how artists do this? He's going... He's adding some black and white filter to it to make it classy. We gotta class up the place. He's got a little glass of whiskey next to it. So he's like, this dick is classic. Okay, I don't know what your problem is, but this dick is 5-star. Except it isn't because you photoshopped it. He finishes the drawing, and he goes, this is the best wiener. Is that offensive? I'm sorry. I just think that the French accent is so fancy. I can't do it in a country accent. I can't be like, that dick looks better than a pair of tits on a crocodile. Like, it doesn't sound as good, okay? He's like, oof, 3 hours later, the best sticker of all time. And he goes, send, and doesn't notice that it says Facetune at the top. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as when Justin Timberlake performed at the Fontainebleau opening and shaded Britney Spears and she came back with, remember when I used to beat you at basketball and you would cry? Embarrassing. You men are out here getting flamed. So Brooke Schofield has a lot of support. And this, in addition to the going after a 6-year-old, in addition to all the other shit, he's just, listen, he's getting the fans that he wants. We love that for him. The little trash-eating mongrels, he can have them. But the final part that makes this story so sweet is Brooke revealed in this podcast that he blocked her. She was like, why are you blocking me, you fucking weirdo? You're the weird one. And he texts her, so unblocks her and goes, hey, Brooke, it's MR. Which, like, first of all, you're not a fucking superhero. You could just say your name. It's me, MR, here to give you a Facetune dick. Like, dude, be serious. Be fucking for real. He texts her like, hey, this is MR. And she sends him the link to the special ed helmets that he put after his DV joke. And she will always be funnier than you will ever be, sir. One final thing before I go to Chef P. Just when I thought I was done with you, she made lilac sauce. That's my name. You're coming from my brand now. My name is Lilac. I said I was going to make a purple sauce, and you have the audacity to make lilac sauce? You should be ashamed of yourself, okay? Was I actually going to make a sauce? No, but maybe I wanted to eventually, and you made lilac sauce? You coming from my neck that hard? Is it because Dave's Gourmet responded to me and let me know you're still under contract? Girl, is it because I tried to interview you and you never responded to the email? That's fine, that's cool. But lilac sauce? I will not tolerate this. I will not stand for this. And it looks gross too. Despicable of you. So yeah, that's about that on that. I'm gonna start editing this because this video is so late. Thank y'all for giving me the time and the grace. I gotta get back in the algorithm, so I'm gonna start posting more. If you can hear there's some reverb in here, there's nothing in here. I'm gonna try to get this up and running as fast as I can. But in the meantime, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I know it's a tough time for most people. It's tough for me. I'm away from my family and most of my friends, and the holidays are honestly really depressing for me. So if you feel that way, that's valid too. I actually wrote a song about it. It's coming out in February, but I just hope everyone's doing okay wherever you are. And yeah, thank you for all of the support. Seriously, 2024 about to be our year. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, listen to my music, and I will see y'all next time.
Yeah, I know you want me. You better get in line. I'm everybody's dream girl. See me when you lay your head down at night. Baby, just keep it pushing. I don't need your double taps. If I'm being honest, I'ma leave you on red. If I'm being honest, I'ma leave you on red.